Hi, I'm Jeremy Crosby.
And I'm Nick Boucher. We're the hosts for the program that's all about your city, Talking Fitchburg.
Every day, we pull together the news, events, and information you need to stay on top of what's happening in the city of Fitchburg.
Find Talking Fitchburg on cable TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our live stream on the web. Plus, you can view all our headlines and stories on Facebook, YouTube, and our video on demand service. This is your city.
Keep up with Talking Fitchburg and the issues that affect you and your neighbors.
Want to know what's happening in your city? Get Notify Me messages from the City of Fitchburg. Visit fitchburgwi.gov on your computer or mobile device and select the big Notify Me button on the left. Enter your email and/or phone number, whichever is best for you to get notifications. Scroll down the list and select all the topics you're interested in to receive email or text messages about. You'll be notified every time one of your topics is updated. Sign up for Notify Me, one more way to keep up with your Fitchburg government.
I don't think tonight's going to feature any actual action anyway, so. All right, good evening. We'll call the meeting of the Healthy Neighborhoods Advisory Committee to order for August 7th. We do not have quorum, so we are going to go ahead and skip the approval of minutes since we can't take any official actions. And we'll move right to, let's see, public appearances for non-agenda items. There are no people here to speak to anything that's not on the agenda. So, you're here for yes, that's what I thought. Yes, welcome. All right. So, agenda review tonight. We're going to have some mid-year reviews, check-ins with our grant recipients, see how their initiatives are going, and get some good information. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Okay, so we'll roll into the order of presentations. So tonight, first presentation is Allied Food Pantry, Good Shepherd Lutheran Church.
Do we have anyone here?
Hi.
From Allied Food Pantry?
Yes, my name is Janice Ferguson. I'm one of the leadership team members from the Allied Food Pantry, and I had sent a presentation off to Deanna, which I assume would be played.
Hold on a minute. Janice, do you know when you sent it to me?
I sent it with the same email acknowledging that I would like to come through Zoom.
Okay. Let me just go get it.
But if you don't want us to do PowerPoint, if you just want us to talk, I could certainly just speak if that is easier for you, Deanna.
Oh, no, not at all. I can bring your presentation right up here. It's all fine. Not a problem at all.
I assumed that you wanted slides, but maybe I misunderstood.
Whatever is easiest for you all. I will just go ahead and grab them.
Okay. Here they are.
We have them.
Okay, so my proposal was building community through food, and that means that the Allied Food Pantry is both a food pantry where we distribute healthy and nutritious and culturally inclusive food, but also we're there to build community connections, both to the in-community providers with the community residents themselves, and also to external resources to the community and have people become better aware and more knowledgeable. So we can connect to the next slide. This is just a bit of a review who we are again, is that we are a really small pantry space inside the Boys and Girls Club, but we are a program of Good Shepherd Lutheran Church. And we are only open one day a week on Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and in the evenings of the same day from 6 to 7:30. And our main partners are Second Harvest Food Bank and the Community Action Coalition, where we get the majority of our free food resources and a lot of our purchased food resources. Again. So since we submitted our proposal and received the grant, we have in the districts that you make a priority, we have served approximately 200 children from Fitchburg and 300 adults. And still 80% of our folks are Spanish speakers. And over the last 4 months, we have received 300 new households. You can those are an example of our statistics that in totality that is inclusive of Fitchburg. So if you wanted to see the raw data, there's more, but that's kind of the numbers. I don't need to restate what you can already see, but those are the months of April through July. But you can see that the new households every month we're receiving about between 60 and 90 new households, which is overwhelming. And also emphasizes the need for the funding we receive from you and how important it has been in order to sustain ourselves. Okay, next slide. So we believe that responsible growth is getting better, not bigger. So we're not looking to grow further. Again, we are an in-community pantry. We don't have a lot of physical space and physical space resources to get bigger, but we want to do better. So we really want to provide food to people that they want and that they value, and that is good for their everyday mental and physical health. We want to use the space to, again, make those connections to community people and partnerships, and to have people be in the space getting to know each other. But sustainability, of course, comes with a cost, and thank you for that $6,000 grant. And I can then show you how we used it. So we tried to do some paper surveys, which weren't very effective. And so we used our Spanish speakers in the room to survey families about the food that they felt that they would like to see in the pantry that maybe isn't already there. Most of our families are interested in produce, fresh, healthy produce, and that's a wonderful problem to have. Another wonderful problem to have is that Second Harvest does provide us, especially in the high growing months, with a lot of fresh, wonderful produce. And it's just up to me to spend enough time on Agency Express to find it. So that is why, although there's a lot of produce on that list, a lot of it is already supplied by us for free. In terms of Second Harvest supplies it free to us. We're not having to purchase. It obviously has a cost somewhere. But so a lot of our money was spent on proteins and both meat, and vegetarian proteins, or like beans and lentils. And then also on dairy, not dairy, but some fats and grains, a lot of grains like pasta and flour, corn flour, white flour, rice, all those things cost money to us. And we can never get enough from TFAB to cover those categories. Next slide. And the amounts that we spent so far are on those slides. And I think, I'm sorry, the print is small, but I think at the bottom of that page, there should be a total, which is totaled, I think, around $5,300 approximately that we've spent of the grant so far, which was $6,000. Next slide. And these are the community agencies that are at the food pantry, that have been at the food pantry since April. The Allied Wellness Center is there every week, and they're not just there to meet families and to engage with them and to determine who needs additional services, but they're also there presenting public health information. Last month, they presented on bed bugs, which is a huge problem in the neighborhood, and giving people resources to deal with that issue. And then this month, they're presenting on diabetes and prevention and management. So a huge resource to have at the pantry every week. We also have Joining Forces for Families, and then the list is in front of you. The folks come often more than once a month. They've come more than once over the 4 months, and they continue to join us and have plans to join us throughout the fall. Today we had public health and reproductive health from Public Health Madison-Dane County, and we had Metro Transit, and the Fitchburg Senior Center was supposed to be with us today, but there was some issues with the folks who were coming with an emergency in the family. So We're still engaging. We get the information about who to invite, again, from our community health workers, because they can identify the areas, the other social determinants of health that are a priority for the residents and the guests that come to the pantry. Next slide. And these are some pictures which aren't very representative, but we didn't want to show residents' faces without their permission, of just some of the community resources that are in the room. And there is an enormous amount of engagement with them. Okay, next slide. Thank you. I hope I was within my 3 minutes, but we really appreciate the funding. Obviously, we could probably use more in the future, but we really wanted to stay small with our grant request this year, because obviously with your reimbursement process, it requires money to ask for money. So next year, we'll hopefully be in a better position maybe to ask for a little bit more. As you can see, in 4 months, we spent almost the entire amount. But I think it's gone to a really good cause. Our residents are really benefiting from your generosity. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. It's good feedback, good data, good information for us to pack away and to utilize going forward. Excellent. Okay. So second presenter, Badger Prairie Needs Network. We have somebody on.
Hello.
Yes, welcome, Tracy.
Hi, I'm Tracy Burton, and I'm the Food Pantry Director for Badger Prairie Needs Network. And I want to thank you for this opportunity to present the status of our program, and thank you for your generous grant. We are currently serving more families than we ever have in the past. The demand for food, and we are a food pantry. We're located in Verona, but we serve all of Dane County, and 38% of our registered households come from Fitchburg, and of that, 83% are in the target healthy neighborhoods. To date, we have met 60% of our goal for the number of unduplicated individuals benefiting from the program in both the healthy neighborhoods and Fitchburg overall. So even though we're less than halfway through the program, we're more than halfway through who we wanted to serve. As far as funding, we have spent well over the amount that we were funded. In fact, though we serve 38% Fitchburg residents, the Healthy Neighborhood Grant covers about 2% of our total food budget. So we spend a lot more money than we can get from a single grant. So we get lots of grants from all over the place. But every grant is important. And the one that's good about this is that it is so targeted at your neighborhoods and at particular initiatives that you're trying to serve. So as far as our first outcome objective, like I said, we have met 60% of that objective, and that objective is to decrease food insecurity by increasing access to healthy food. The second objective was to provide culturally familiar food items for our Hispanic, Muslim, and other guests. And to date, and that was a carve out of the $13,000 that we received. It was the $5,000 carve out. And to date, we've spent almost $34,000 on culturally familiar food. We have purchased halal beef and chicken, masa harina, hot sauce, soy sauce, white rice, dried beans of 4 different varieties, and lots of fresh produce. We're currently purchasing lemons, limes, plantains, peppers, and specific herbs to meet the requirements of our guests. Like Janice, we tried to interview our guests and survey our guests, and it is very difficult with the language barriers. The other barrier is that a lot of the people we are serving are recent immigrants and are concerned about how much information we're gathering from them. And so when we start to ask them what country of origin, that kind of thing, they get a little bit nervous. So what we did was we had a UW intern that worked with us in April and May, and she interviewed the people that were waiting in our lobby and people as they left the pantry. And the main thing that she asked them was, what items were you looking for that you could not find at the pantry? The nice thing to hear was that almost everybody said, oh, I found everything I needed. And I think that just is a reflection of how gracious people are and how grateful they are for the food that we can provide to them. But we know that we're missing on some things, and culturally familiar food is so important to not only have nutritious food, but also to have food that the whole family will eat and enjoy and connect to their cultural heritage. And so we have been doing a lot of research, both with our UW intern and then our internal staff, to determine what more food items we can bring in that will either supplement the food that we get for free from Second Harvest and CAC and retail donations, but also purchase food that will make the meals that they want to make. So we're real happy with the results. People are very excited when they see the brands that they're used to buying and the types of food that they're used to eating in our pantry. So that's kind of where I'm at. Oh, one thing you did ask about was if there were any challenges or issues. And I mentioned this when we talked about our 2023 results, but it does continue to be a challenge to determine which priority neighborhood the people coming to us are in. Unlike Janice, where she's located in one of the priority neighborhoods, so she can be pretty well assured that most of the people coming are from that neighborhood. We have a real challenge because people don't identify as Fitchburg residents all the time, even though they are in a Fitchburg address. There isn't an automated way to figure out the neighborhoods. And starting October 1st, the Department of Health, Wisconsin Department of Health, that administers the TFAP, the Federal Emergency Food Program, has basically said that we need to serve anyone, whether they have address verification, ID. We can't ask for ages of the guests, and I know your grant requires us to break down adults and children. All we can ask is how many people are in a household. And so it's going to be even more of a challenge to generate the kind of information that we need for a grant of this nature. So that's what I got.
Okay, thank you very much. That's very good feedback. Okay, next up, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Dane County. Welcome.
Thank you. Three minutes, correct? Okay. Great. All right. Well, firstly, thank you for having me, and thank you for providing the grant funding. Hopefully, through the course of the presentation, you'll be able to see that we've been using the money effectively, and got some good stories to tell out of it too. So I'm Simon. I'm the program director at Big Brothers Big Sisters. I've been here for about 6 years now, so I oversee the enrollment of volunteers and youth and family members, as well as ensuring that they're having a positive experience in the mentoring program. So yeah, we had three main outcome objectives: to strengthen the connections between the 29 already served youth, to continue serving them, as well as make 15 new matches. So typically that is best done through engagement events. We have one coming up on Saturday. It's one of the biggest back-to-school events in the area. We're expecting about 350 people. Many of them will be coming from those priority neighborhoods as well. So we try and offer about 2 of those a month, because the requirement to be in the program is to see each other 2 times a month. So we want to make it nice and easy for the volunteers and the family members and the kids, so that they already have like 2 possible events to attend without having to take on all the mental burden of planning and scheduling and paying for the various outings. So that's one of the main ways we want to strengthen connections. We want to continue making matches quickly and effectively, not just making a good quantity of matches, but quality matches as well. And then we lean pretty heavily on one of the nationally administered surveys called a Youth Outcome Survey, and that measures various things such as educational success, risky behaviors, social and emotional competency, and things like that. So, next slide. This is one of actually the longest serving match in the priority neighborhood. So this is Big Sister Taylor with her little sister Melanie. There's a really great quote here from Taylor, and they've enjoyed bike rides through the Fitchburg neighborhood. That's some of the feedback that we've got. They've attended over a dozen events at the agency since their match started in 2019. So they're really exemplary of what we're trying to accomplish through the grant funding. Exactly the kind of people that we want to have involved in the program. So yeah. So here's what we hope to do in the next few months left of this grant period. We want to make 9 more matches. So we've already made, that would be 6. We want to hit 20 total engagement opportunities for the year. So we've done 11 during the grant period. A few more if you include January and February, March. So 9 more, like I said, one coming up on Saturday. We've got 18 littles currently waiting in those priority neighborhoods, so we're feeling optimistic that we'll be able to make those 9 matches. We're hoping to expand the School Friends program at Wright Middle School, which currently has 2 youth from priority neighborhoods enrolled in not just Wright, but in our School Friends program there. That's site-based, so everything they do is supervised and facilitated by a professional from Big Brothers Big Sisters. And as for those wait list littles, we continue prioritizing siblings of matches who are already matched, seeing their big sister or their big brother. And we know that can be tough on kids to see their brother or sister going out, having fun, coming back and sharing all the fun stuff they've done. So we want to bump those up the list as best we can. Some challenges. So at the beginning of writing the grant and getting the grant accepted, we discussed a lot and outlined a lot of the It Takes Little to Be Big campaign. If you heard of it, that means that we did good. We were hoping to get 100 inquiries in the same span of time where we would typically get 60, and we were happy to reach above 100. The challenge with that was moving through those quickly and efficiently, and the yield from those inquiries to actually making it to an active match is about 5 to 10% lower than is typical. So we've cast a wide net. Ultimately, it still resulted in having the same amount of matches made per month. So even though a slightly lower percent yield, we've still been able to continue doing the work and making the correct number of matches that we would hope to see. I think that's basically it. But yeah, if you've got any questions, fire away. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay. Next up is Catholic Multicultural Center. We have someone online for that?
Yes. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. My name is Laura Green. I'm the Grants and Communications Coordinator at the Catholic Multicultural Center. With our Healthy Neighborhoods funding, we were aiming to support educational initiatives and food security for immigrants. So the first part of what we are doing is we are supporting English as a second language classes at our secondary location in Fitchburg, off of Verona Road and Williamsburg Way. We started these ESL classes at this location in late October of last year, kind of as a pilot. And then we're using funds from this grant to help establish more permanent classes at this location. And those are in addition to our morning classes at our main Beld Street location. And we have seen a really positive response right away. Students have filled up the class pretty quickly. For some, this class is more convenient than our morning Beld Street classes. They're offered in the evening, so that's better for some people, and the location is more accessible to some students. There are no other ESL classes in this immediate neighborhood, so we're happy to use our space there to fill a gap in service. From April to July, we taught 32 students from 12 different countries with 5 different first languages between them. Of these, 13 students have a Fitchburg address, and we estimate that all of them live in a priority neighborhood, mainly in our neighborhood, which is Verona Road West. The grant funds supported a small portion of our ESL coordinators' time in growing and maintaining this new service, including recruiting and training teachers, doing community outreach, lesson planning, and registering students. Funds were also used for lighting and signage improvements to our building, which were necessary to be able to start offering evening ESL classes. And we will soon be using funds to purchase a set of instructional materials at our Fitchburg building, which we don't currently have. The other piece of this grant was to support Fitchburg residents of our food pantry. As we've already heard tonight, food insecurity is a big issue in our community right now. From April to July, the CMC food pantry served a total of 421 unduplicated households, representing over 1,000 individuals, and we distributed 44,000 pounds of food. Of these, an estimated 111 individuals were Fitchburg residents, with approximately 90% of these coming from priority neighborhoods. Most are from the North Fish Hatchery Road neighborhood. The CMC food pantry clientele is about 80% immigrant visitors, including people from Latin America, West Africa, the Middle East, Southeast Asia, and China. Staff available to help with the food pantry collectively speak Spanish, Arabic, Portuguese, and French, which helps our ability to serve this diverse clientele. Almost all Dane County pantries are seeing an alarming trend in rising food insecurity. At the CMC, if you look at last year, which was already high demand, we averaged 270 food pantry visits per month. This year in April, we hit a new record with 400 visits that month. Funds like this have been essential in helping us keep up with the growing demand for our food pantry services and ensuring that people can meet a significant portion of their food needs at CMC. Last year, we began offering halal meat to our Muslim immigrant visitors, which has filled a significant gap in service, but it has increased our food pantry expenses due to the need to purchase all of this meat. Funds from this proposal have been crucial in helping us stock pantry shelves at this time of unprecedented demand to serve the portion of pantry clientele from Fitchburg priority neighborhoods. Funds from this grant were used to purchase food for the pantry, which costs the CMC about $2,000 per month. The CMC is on track to use funds as stated in our grant proposal by the end of this year to support the Fitchburg ESL classes and the portion of food pantry visitors that are from Fitchburg. And thank you for this opportunity to help us meet the educational and food security needs of our immigrant and low-income neighbors. And thank you to all of the other grantees for your wonderful work.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Oh, we did. Yes. My apologies. We'll go back into back up the list. Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County. You're next. Apologies. Welcome.
Perfect. I'm not sure, were you able to get the slides that I sent over? Otherwise, I can go grab them.
Did you, do you know approximately when you sent them to me?
I sent them a little bit earlier today. So that's probably why. That's why I thought first question to ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you have it on your computer,
I do.
You can plug in, and it'll be even quicker than me digging through my email. So.
Oh, perfect. I see exactly where to plug it in. Okay, and let me see. There we go. Oh, this is a fancy way of showing it, but okay, as long as it's showing up for everybody.
We have you. Yeah,
Perfect.
wonderful.
So I'm Anthony Watkins. I'm the club director with our Allied Boys and Girls Club facility in Fitchburg. This is a little bit about the Boys and Girls Club, but I know since we're checking in, we'll skip right into our numbers. So far, during this grant period, we have been able to serve within our priority neighborhoods 50 children under 18, and then 61 adults over the age of 18. And then non-Fitchburg residents, we've been able to serve 22 additional youth through these funds supporting our food initiatives like serving lunch and meals at the clubs. So our first objective is to serve the food security needs of our youth members, their families, and other area families through community meals and programs in the BRP area. So far, during this grant period, we have been able to host and support one community meal in partnership with the Allied Duns Marsh Neighborhood Association, and also support a 3-on-3 basketball tournament hosted by Katie Ferrens and the Neighborhood Association, where we were able to provide burgers, hot dogs, chips, and water to their event to meet the food security needs of our community partners as well. Our second objective was to make our food preference survey available to the community partners. How we have addressed that is the Allied Food Pantry and Janice have an amazing food pantry survey that they distribute with food preferences from their families that are already coming into our building and into our spaces. So we have reached out to collaborate as a partner in co-hosting quarterly community food meetings. In the past, they have organized phenomenal community partner meetings, and we have just provided the space and had myself and another staff present to be part as a community partner. We're looking to be more, we are working with Janice to be more involved in the planning side of that and the organizing so that we can help better serve our community's needs and work together to plan how to best serve our communities. That would include school districts, food pantries, and other community centers as well. And then with their food preference survey that we mentioned, the Boys and Girls Club is looking to use that data from their food pantry preference survey to then make a contribution using some of the funds from this grant to then give them a chance to purchase the foods that they're seeing that their families are looking for or that are not being met. So making a $1,000 contribution to then purchase so that the food pantry is able to purchase those foods and make them available for their community members that are coming to the food pantries. Then we have securing at least 3 new partners, lasting and new partners for community meal distribution. Earlier this year, our club started a partnership with Matt Leichmer from the Madison Area Food Pantry Gardens. He will be partnering with our centers to host a mini farmers market during our back to school event to provide healthy food options to our community members and Boys and Girls Club families and youth. Our club has also started a partnership with FoodWise, who will be implementing curriculum in our centers centered around healthy fruit and vegetable options for our younger learners. So that will be starting in September with the school year, they'll be working with our 5- and 6-year-olds to provide healthy options and healthy habits curriculum in a 4-week session. And then in October, they will start working with our new 4K initiative and working with our 4K students to be delivering healthy programming to them as well. This summer, we were also able to partner with the River Food Pantry to be added as a site for the Mobile Munch program. Each Thursday, we were able to provide a staff to help distribute meals and help with that program. And then our staff, community members, and families were also able to take advantage of the Munch program as well, which was an amazing partnership that we are super thankful for. The biggest challenge that we face in the first part of the grant year is that summer, with our summer programming, it greatly reduces we have so much going on through all-day summer camps, and then we have our teen programs as well in the evening. So from 8 a.m. until 9 p.m., we have youth and teens in our centers, which makes it a lot harder to host a lot of our community events. With the school year, it definitely opens up a lot, and we have a lot of awesome things that we'll be talking about as what we're doing moving forward. How we addressed that during this time, though, is that we supported 2 of those community events that were hosted outside of the Boys and Girls Club walls. So we were able to still serve the priority neighborhood without it having to be inside of our space. Looking ahead, as we transition into the school year, like I said, we can really get running with things, and we have a lot more availability in our space. Over the next several months, we will be hosting some of our key events, which are our back-to-school drive, our Coats for Kids event, and our Give Thanks meal, all which provide food to our families, community members, and those within and beyond our priority neighborhoods. So as we work with these and our big events come up, we're really able to better address the food needs and food insecurity within our community. And that is what I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Sorry for skipping over you. Okay, back on track. Number 6, Centro Hispano. We have someone online for that?
Hi, I'm here.
Norma, welcome.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Good evening. Thank you for this opportunity, and congratulations again to all the awardees and honoring the job that is taking place in partnership with many of them and with the city of Fitchburg. My name is Norma Gallegos. I am the director of programs here at Centro. So this evening, I'd like to share a little bit of what we've been doing through our Juventuras program this summer. I'm happy to say that we are a week away from wrapping up summer programming. It's just been very joyful to have about 22 students from all Madison MMSD schools, middle schools here at Centro, at our new Cali home building. So I just like to highlight a few of the activities that our youth have been engaging in through the past 7 weeks. As we mentioned or wrote in our proposal, the goal with this was to engage the youth in activities that promote well-being, that promote engagement, not just in the south side of Madison, but in our proximity neighborhoods such as Fitchburg. So I'm happy to inform that they've completed 2 weeks at the Lucier Center in partnership with them. They were able to enjoy outdoors, engage in activities such as hiking, biking, swimming, fishing, and just engage in nature. They were able to explore the different parks and recreational sites through the Fitchburg area, downtown Madison, and the south side of Madison. So right now they are engaged with Bike Fed and doing biking activity and owning transportation and just what it means to have presence in outdoor activities as well as biking, and what does that impact? How does that impact our environment? So it's been lots of learning for youth. Some of the challenges that we face when we wrote this grant, we were anticipating engagement from Fitchburg students, especially from the Wright Middle School. However, we had some transitions here at Centro. Our coordinator at Wright transitioned out throughout the school year. And so it wasn't until the end of the school year that we were able to hire somebody. So it was a little late to engage students and bring them into Juventuras. But this was a pilot that we wanted to do with the city of Fitchburg, because our goal moving forward and for the next year is to really engage with the city of Fitchburg, work more in partnership with Badger Rock Middle School. And in the long term, we're also are looking to engage in more elementary schools, including Leopold. So it was a learning process on our end. The students that we have from Fitchburg, because they're not, the program hasn't ended yet. We're not collecting their testimonials until the end of the program. So we'll be happy to report on those testimonials from Fitchburg students and the families from Fitchburg that benefited from Juventuras. As you know, the program ran 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So for coordinators, it has also been an engaging and learning opportunity just for everybody here at Centro. So just expect some testimonials and stories from some of our Fitchburg families that are engaging in Centro in the next few weeks. So we'll be happy to share those out with all of you. And are there any questions?
Yeah, that's excellent. Thank you. Any questions from anyone? No? All right. Very good. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay. Next up on the list, Justine and Allied Duns Marsh Neighborhood Association. Okay. I don't see anybody here for that, so we'll jump ahead and we'll circle back if they pop on. So next up, Latino Academy of Workforce Development. Welcome.
Hello, thank you for having us here. My name is Julio Garcia. I am the Director of Education with the Latino Academy. I've been working there for 5 years now, and I usually oversee the GED and the ESL programming. The Healthy Neighborhoods grant that we have with you, the commitment is to serve the GED and the CDL residents of Fitchburg, so they are able to obtain these diplomas. And so far, we have served 37 people in Fitchburg with these programs from these neighborhoods, and it has been very successful in the sense that basically our main goal is workforce. And we are having the same as all the programs are showing that we are having a lot of new people that are coming, and many of them are like settling down in Fitchburg. And I mean, you can see like the apartment complexes around Rimbrook, around Fish Hatchery. And that's basically our new location is basically surrounded by these neighborhoods. So the good thing with the CDL programming, we have been able to buy more trucks, and also we have been adding staff, so those trucks are in continuous movement and people are obtaining their licenses. We added this year also a CDL class in Spanish. It was something that we needed for people who know some English, but they are like they cannot follow the whole class in English. And the good thing is that these people, for the most part, they already have the skills. They come from their home countries, and there is something that this is something they have been doing in their home countries, and the ability of obtaining this license allows them to contribute to the local economy, and especially in an area of extreme need, as we all know, with the school buses, all the transportation that, I mean, it's one of the areas of biggest need. So it's a great ability that with your help also we are able to push all this economy, allowing people to use the skills that they already have in areas of great need in Wisconsin. On the GED programming, it's a very similar story. There are like many people coming into the area, many of them actually with university degrees, and either we are helping them to validate their degrees or to allow them to get their high school degree. That many times it may seem that, okay, if you already have like a college degree in your country, why would you want to validate your high school degree here? And it's very important because that makes easier access to kind of certificates, usually with Madison College, in which through maybe like a 6-month, 9-month curriculum, they can obtain a certification that would allow them again to use the skills that they already have and apply them in areas of need here in Wisconsin, in Madison, in Fitchburg, in all these neighborhoods. Like the typical examples is we have like doctors that are coming to the country that obviously they are probably never going to be able to work as doctors because of the language and the cost of going to school, but they can get into the health industry, into the health services, and they can still like continue their career there, even if not as doctors, but they can also like bring those skills to the things that the neighborhoods and the people in the Fitchburg area, in the whole Madison-Dane County area need. So this is basically what we are doing. And also one of the main things is like we are becoming like a first stop for many of these newcomers. We are like every single day, if you go to our office, there is somebody that comes that tells you like, I arrived yesterday. I arrived last week and they told me to come here. So basically what we do is, for the most part, creating a curriculum for that person, searching a little bit in the job market to see where we can fit these people, and providing them with the skills to have an interview or to showcase their skills. And this is essential because people are just arriving and they really need, with the rents in the area, they really need to obtain a job right now, right there. And this is something like the economy is helping with that, but we are helping these people to connect with the employers that we already have, so at least they have like a secure income that would allow them to rent an apartment and not be doubled up with with other family members. So this is something like beyond the scope of the grant, this is something I think of the biggest importance that we are doing right now with all this population that is arriving, and most of those people are, as you know, like they are like settling down in Fitchburg, many times with family members, 2-3 families in a 2-bedroom apartment. That's not uncommon, but that this job allows them to maybe in 2-3 months move into their own apartment and start basically creating their own life here in Fitchburg, in Madison, in Dane County, in Wisconsin. So if you have any questions, I'm here. Okay.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Any questions? Nope. All right. Thank you. Okay. And we'll move forward to the Madison Reading Project. Have anyone online? No. Okay. All right. Moving forward. Omega School. Yes, I see Oscar. Welcome.
Good evening. It's I've been on a call the whole time, and I really I want to thank the committee for your investment in the whole community. Talking about all the food got me a little hungry, though. So, but it really sounds like your investments have really gone a long way, and I want to, having lived in the area for 30 years, I really want to thank your leadership and your vision, and really kind of, even though these are relatively small dollars, they've really had a big impact. So just listening in has been inspiring, and it just talks about the breadth of services that a lot of these nonprofits do. So Omega does something very specialized. We help young adults who, for a variety of reasons, did not finish high school. And as you well know, a high school credential it's a key access point for entry-level employment, for apprenticeships, and then for post-secondary education. So we've targeted, we reached about 60% of our goal in terms of our participants. They've done their part. They've taken their first GED test, which is often really builds their confidence and allows them to kind of see that, you know, this credential is within their range. I think they spend far too much time thinking that it's out of their reach, and with one-to-one, we're able to kind of help alleviate some of the concerns and challenges. We focused on the target areas. Omega is just located right across the Beltline, where I could almost walk to Fitchburg, but we're just on Badger Road off Fish Hatchery. So that allows us to really, the proximity helps, and we provide bus tickets and gas cards. So yeah, we're really excited. This is our first year participating, and we want to thank you for all your support.
Okay, excellent. Good to hear that update. Thank you very much. Okay, next up on the list, River Food Pantry. And we have Helen. Welcome.
Hi, good evening. And I do have a brief slideshow, if I'm able to share my screen.
Yes. Certainly.
Yeah.
I think we can do that. Oh, man. Great, thank you. And yes, thank you all so much again for your support. While the river is located on the north side of Madison, we do serve all of Dane County with our partnership and presence in Fitchburg growing. And we really appreciate the welcome to Fitchburg and the opportunity to continue to serve the residents there. And yeah, so just to share about what your funding has helped to support our summer meal mobile program Munch. Currently, we visit 24 neighborhoods throughout the week. We run routes Tuesday through Saturday, and we're visiting 6 different neighborhoods or 6 different stops in Fitchburg. And the Fitchburg priority neighborhoods are highlighted in yellow here, and so we're luckily able to be in each one, and we're just getting ready to roll out our fall routes for Munch, and we'll continue with the 5 stops in Fitchburg. We won't be continuing at the Workforce Center. They shared that it's best for us to come in the summer, so we'll revisit stopping there again next summer. And with the mobile meals, again, we are, it's anybody who shows up to the truck is welcome for a meal. Every meal, people get a bag with 8 to 10 items in it that are shelf stable. So it's going to be a couple small drinks or water or small juices, some granola bars, some chips or fruit snacks, or some trail mix. And then people also have a choice of different types of sandwiches to take home, individual salads, as well as the additional produce and fresh, and especially some fresh fruit to take home with them as well. As you can see, we've served almost, and this was just May, June, and July. So by now, we've probably served more than 3,000 meals throughout Fitchburg. And comparing it to last year, last year, June, July, and August in Fitchburg, we served, I believe, about 800 meals. And so a big increase in the number of meals. And we're seeing that throughout all of our programs, just as the number of people coming for groceries and meals continues to increase. And again, Munch is focused on, we look to where we can help serve children, but we want to serve the whole family and the whole community. So adults are welcome to a meal as well. And we do have a new vehicle. In May, we got our new truck, which has just really increased the capacity of food we're able to bring, which means it increases the number of people that we get to serve, the variety of food that we get to serve, as it has cold storage and hot storage on it. And we have this great produce window that you'll see in the next slide. And so again, it's a vehicle that's really inviting. We want people to enjoy coming for a munch lunch. A lot of times we hear that people don't come to a food pantry not because they don't need to or couldn't benefit from it, but because they don't want to be seen at a food pantry, or they don't feel respected just because their ideas of the type of quality of food available at a food pantry at the river. It's really important to us to respect people's dignity and provide as much choice as possible. And this new vehicle, we really feel meets that bar. And we've gotten really good feedback from the community as well, just with the vehicle. So we're really thankful to be able to have this. And this is a photo of the produce area. So we always have fresh produce. And this is actually a photo from the Southdale event, the resource fair that we held there, that funding that you all helped fund. And some of you came out and supported. We really enjoyed getting to see you there. So yeah, people at Munch, they get the take-home meal as well as some fresh produce to go with it. And then, yes, our evening out, our night out at Southdale Park on June 13th, we host our community fair there. This is the first time that the river had hosted a resource fair. We've been lucky enough to participate in quite a few, but this was our first one to host. Myself and our community coordinator, who's in the center photo there, she and I planned it, and it was a lot of fun. We had a great turnout from community resources as well as community members coming out who came out for the event. We had 16 different resources there, focused on veterans, on seniors, on children, on mental health, on healthy, nutritious eating, on daycare, just trying to bring in a good variety of resources to be most useful to people. And yeah, we got some really good feedback, and we're looking forward to doing the event again next year. And then this is just a photo of our previous Munch vehicle, which we still have and we rely on, and our new Munch vehicle, which again is really just evolving how we get to do this program that's really important to us and special to us. But yes, thank you all so much for your support of our serving the folks in Fitchburg. Does anyone have any questions?
I just had a comment about that. I was at the June 13th event and got to see your nice, shiny new truck. And man, that was cool. And it was such a good event. I'm glad that the river stepped up to do that. I haven't been able to participate in a lot of the things that we funded through this program, but that was a really good event. And there were a lot of people from the neighborhood who participated, and it was good to see everyone out.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate it.
Excellent. Thank you so much. That was really great. Okay, next up on the list is Second Harvest Food Bank of Southern Wisconsin.
Hello, my name is Lori Papard. I'm a community representative for Dane County and the staff person responsible for the 2 mobile pantry food distributions that we do in Fitchburg. And we are grateful for the support of the city of Fitchburg for these efforts. They're going great. We do not intend to discontinue them. This is a long-term project, and we'll be there as long as folks are still coming. Some updates on people. We do run each of those. So we have one in what we call a Rimrock route. We're at 3 locations. The 2nd and 4th Thursdays, including tomorrow, if anybody's looking for a volunteer opportunity. So we'll be there tomorrow. We start at Highland Manor and then go to the Oaks Apartments and then over Deer Park place. So we spend about 30 minutes to an hour at each location, and we're seeing over 200 households every second and fourth Thursday at that distribution. And then the Allied Dunmarsh Mobile Pantry is going great. It is the second and fourth Fridays of every month. The biggest challenge we have with these distributions is the weather, because it is outside. Families can drive through. It's nice for people with disabilities, people who have children in the car on their way home from work or to work can drive by and have food delivered right directly into their car. We do focus on nutritious food, a great deal of produce, milk, eggs, bread, meat are all available for families, and there is choice. They don't have to take it all. Many do, but if there are items they don't want, or if they are allergic to certain items, they are not required to take them. We want to make sure that food is not wasted, so it's important that the food we distribute is food that family can use. We also do allow proxy shopping, so if they just tell us how many households they're picking up for, and that food goes directly into their car. We also have our food share outreach specialists come to these distributions, and they've had some pretty good luck with that. It looks like, from what we can tell, because we aren't the ones who approve the applications, but it does look like at least 65 families are receiving food share benefits, and we have fulfilled 110 applications. So that's ongoing. A food share outreach specialist comes as often as they can to one of these distributions. So again, we greatly appreciate the support of the city of Fitchburg, both with volunteers that come and also with the financial support. It is, food costs are rising, and we do pay for many of the products that come to our mobile pantries. So we are grateful to be able to continue to serve Fitchburg in this way. Does anyone have any questions?
Excellent. Thank you very much. Any questions? No? All right. Great. Thank you. Thank you for the update. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Next on the list, the road home, Dane County. That would be Angela. Yes. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. I'm here with Megan as well. Hello. Hi, I'm Megan Salzwedel. I'm going to just kick off our grant update and then pass it over to Angela to share a little bit more information. But want to start off by saying thank you to the City of Fitchburg and the Healthy Neighborhoods Grant Program. The funding that the Road Home Dane County received is specifically for one of our 13 housing programs that support families moving from homelessness to safe, stable, affordable housing. And the specific program is Heart Room. And the status of the project is we are working with a family in the Heart Room program who lives in Fitchburg. It's a mother and her 7-year-old daughter, and they are enrolled in the program and receiving a monthly rental subsidy. It's included in our report, and I have it here, $465 per month. It's a sliding scale, so it varies on the needs of the family per month. But the funds from this grant have been able to fund the mother's rental subsidy beginning in April, May, June, July, and August, and will continue to in her duration of the program, which is really exciting as just affordability of rent and housing in our community are really tight. This grant has been really incredible for the mother in the program and has funded her time in the program thus far. There have been no issues implementing the grant, and we are on track to complete our timeline or our grant in the projected timeline that we included in our application. Thanks, Megan. Just a little background on the family. When they started in the Heart Room program, the mother set goals of getting a job and purchasing a car. Those were very important to her. And
In the beginning of the year, earlier this year, she had some severe health challenges. And after overcoming those, she worked with Maximiliano, who's her case manager at the road home, to update her resume. And now she's seeking a new job with health insurance benefits, has realized how important that is. And they also opened a bank account. So now she's eligible to get that car loan. So these have been some incredible successes for this family. And the mother said it would not have been possible without the Heartworm program to help them. So they are very grateful, and we are very grateful for the Healthy Neighborhoods funding. So we thank you very much.
Excellent.
Any question?
Thank you for the update. Anybody have any questions?
Yes.
Don't see any. Okay, great. Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up, Try for Schools.
Unfortunately, Amanda will not be able to join us, so there will not be a rep from Try for Schools this evening.
Oh, okay. Do we have anybody else who's logged in for any of the others that we had to skip over?
I do not believe so.
Okay. Well, that gets us to the end of our agenda for mid-year check-ins. That was just going to be my suggestion, because we now have quorum, so we can circle back to the beginning of the meeting where we skipped over the approval of minutes, and so we can get a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the June 5th meeting.
So moved.
All right. Seconded? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Nay? No. Okay. They are approved. Okay. And then we run back all the way down to report from department.
Before we go on, so the ones that didn't have a representative here today, are we expecting them to submit something saying that they want the money because they've done their stuff, or?
That's a good question. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to, as part of the grant, the applicants are required to submit a mid-year form. I wasn't, those were not able to get into your packet. I can share with them. Unfortunately, two of the organizations, Just Dane, and then also the Madison Reading Project, did not submit anything.
Oh, okay.
Try for Schools was unable to attend tonight, but she did submit her information, and she just had a family emergency. So.
All right.
So I am happy. I just didn't have time to get all of that paper into your packet. I'm happy to share.
That'd be great.
We shall share.
Yeah.
So I did check with Julia. So in the budget for this year, for 2024, we had like $140,000, wasn't it?
Yeah,
But
yes,
some of that,
138.
yeah. So some of that included money that was left over from 2023 that was not used. So
Correct.
Where we're at right now is the current mayor's budget has $50,000 in it for this program because the budget's a little tighter. Julia told me she's going to raise it to $100,000. And then if we do end up having money left over, so maybe if we have a couple organizations that are not doing what they're supposed to do, we'll have maybe around the same amount of money for next year. But that's where we are right now. I can't guarantee that we're going to have more than $100,000.
Thank you for sharing that, Jay. Yes, funds that would be unspent in the 2024 annual budget, then that would get rolled over into 2025.
Yeah, that's a good update to know. Thanks, Jay. Okay. Yes. So a report from department.
Just briefly. Hopefully you all were aware that last Wednesday we had the groundbreaking for the hub. Very exciting day. So that project is moving forward. They are starting construction, and hopefully they are hoping to even perhaps get the building closed in by before the end of the year. So pretty exciting. Good news is that we have one of the applicants has accepted the position for the Community Development Program Coordinator. She is scheduled to start on September 9th. So after a transition period, she will be the primary contact for the Healthy Neighborhoods Advisory Committee. But we'll be working together. And the Teen Center Feasibility Study is another project that's moving forward. We do expect a draft in September to give us a sense of where we are on the Teen Center feasibility. So if there's any other questions, I'm happy to take them.
That's fantastic news on both fronts. I think our next meeting is going to be in October, right?
Yeah, I'm not planning on having anything in September.
Right. Okay. So we will, I'm sure, have even more updates from both of those items for our October meeting. So that's exciting. Okay. Excellent. Okay. So we're done with the report from the department. Next up is any announcements. Does anybody have any additional announcements?
I guess I should
Mark,
introduce myself
yes.
because I know
Welcome.
everybody but you. I'm the new representative from CETA. My name's Mark Hamilton. I'm on the CETA committee. I'm also on the Bike and Ped chair, Bike and Ped commission. So anyway, I look forward to working on this group and learning about these. It was an interesting. I knew a lot of people that are presenting on that thing up there. So from work around the city. So thank you for letting me join this committee, and I look forward to it.
Very good. Welcome, Mark. All right. Okay. Any no other announcements? Nope. Okay. Well, then I guess we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right. Seconded. All right. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much.